Hello, ladies. I am so excited to chat with you tonight. I'm a little bit later than normal on this Facebook Live, so thanks for your patience. Tonight we're going to talk all about this myth of perfectionism and this curse of perfectionism and this idea of perfect on paper. So how many of you put in like a like or a heart, or if you're watching this later, write in a comment. How many of you have ever seen an online profile that looked totally perfect and then met the person in person and it sucked? Like there was no chemistry, or they were super awkward, or you just didn't have any fun on the date, or they were kind of an asshole. That happens all the time, so maybe you've experienced that as well. Or maybe you even had a setup where a friend was like, oh, this guy is amazing, you're gonna love each other, it's gonna be super fun, and then you got there and you were like, maybe not. So often we look at paper when we're about to date, and the paper, modern paper, is our online dating profile or the other person's online dating profile. And what happens is we get caught in this trap or this illusion of who we think the person is. We have an idea of them. And this happens, of course, when we meet people in real life as well, just organically when we're meeting people and we're flirting. But it's very different when you meet someone organically versus when you meet someone online. Because the person online is the projection or the presentation of who they think you want them to be or who they think that they are. But most of us have blind spots. Like we actually can't totally see ourselves. We actually don't know the ways that we're showing up in the world that are effective or not so effective when it comes to building relationships. So many times we get in this cycle of perfect on paper, and then we feel frustrated double time. We feel even more disappointment because we think, well, this guy was supposed to be perfect. So our expectations go sky high, and then our heart feels almost broken, or almost like, oh, he lied to me, or he didn't present himself properly, and he might just be presenting himself the way that he sees himself. So the way that I want you to approach your life is the opposite of perfect on paper, because there is no perfectionism. Society and media will all want you to think that you need to have the perfect body, that you need to have the perfect external experience, that you need to say the right thing, even with the, like 5 things you need to say to a guy to get him back after a first date, or after he leaves, or whatever that is. That's all manipulation. That's all just pure like manipulating words and strategy in order to get a desired outcome. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not the essence of a relationship. Like if you're in a relationship for 10 years and you're trying to think like, what do I need to say to get him to change his behavior? Like that is going to lead to a ton of stress and a ton of heartbreak. You're not going to be able to be your bold, authentic self. So in current dating, it's not about being perfect. It's about being unique. And the only way you can be unique is if you're with your authentic self, if you're showing your authentic self and expressing your authentic self. The cool thing about this is your authentic self is what is attractive to the authentic self of the right person that you're looking for. Like that is what he wants. That is what he's looking for, is not just a perfect image, not just the perfect body, but you, real live you, as you are, with all your quirks, with all of your things that make you special. And so many times we try to cover that up, or we try to look for the perfect partner and we look just on paper versus how do we actually feel with this person? Do I feel excited? Do I feel turned on? Do I feel curious? Do I feel intrigued? Do I feel stimulated? Like I want to have more adventure and more connection. So I just really encourage you to say F you to the perfectionism, and to that curse of perfectionism that's going rampant, and that is just all the more prevalent because of social media and all those things, and celebrate the uniqueness in you. And that uniqueness in you is what's going to attract the right partner. And so often we don't let our uniqueness out in the beginning because we think, well, what if I'm judged, or what if this ruins things? But it's that uniqueness that's going to attract the right person to you and create so much more depth in your relationship and that quality of connection. So it's less about chemistry and more about the connection. Like, can you have a connection where you feel comfortable opening up with the person, where you feel comfortable being vulnerable, where you feel comfortable singing at the top of your lungs to that cheesy 80s song that you love, or getting the chicken wing sauce all over your face, whatever floats your boat. So it goes both ways with us letting go of our own perfectionism and then also letting go of that quest for the perfect on paper man, because that is not how life and relationship is built. So if you have an online profile and you feel like it's not really getting you what you want in love, or if you see a lot of online profiles but they're not matching up in the way that you would expect, like it's something to look at. Like, what am I really evaluating? And can I get out of evaluation mode and more in touch with my body, how I feel when I'm on a date, what's resonant for me, and what's going to make me feel even more excited and aligned with this person versus just checking the box. Because we can date based on our resume, and that's fine, but it's probably not going to be fulfilling. Someone's resume is not going to keep you warm at night. And I experienced this for myself because for a long time, when I was single for 10 years between my first husband and now my second husband, Jason, I would be dating guys just based on what they said on paper. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there was definitely times where the rug got pulled out from under me because I didn't do my due diligence. Like, I was paying more attention to their resume sort of things versus how they actually treated me. And anytime that I didn't feel loved from those people, I actually made it my fault. Like, well, he's this great guy. Like, of course he means well. Like, if he's saying these things that feel hurtful, it's because there's something wrong with me. Oh, this is good. This is helping me fix something that's wrong with me. And just turning into this whole like shame cycle instead of realizing, just because this person has a great resume and looks perfect on paper, if I feel like crappy around them, then maybe it's not a good idea. Like, maybe they're not respecting me. Maybe they're not cherishing and adoring me. And I want every woman to feel cherished, adored, seen, valued, and fully expressed so that she can be her unique, radiant, magnetic self. And that is what we need on the planet, is we need women and men that are living in their full potential, in their uniqueness, and celebrating that and reflecting that back to each other so we can build these networks of love versus feeling like we've got to fit into, you know, the matrix or fit into this idea from society of perfectionism. Because I don't care what your resume says and I don't care what your online dating profile says if you're not coming from a place of love, respect, dignity for self and other. So beautiful to see all of you ladies here. This is kind of fun for me to do a Facebook Live that's a little bit late in the night. So yeah, just lots of love and blessings to you. And again, follow your uniqueness, your unique gifts, and look for the unique gifts in others instead of just looking for what looks perfect on paper. And if you need any help with that or with your dating life or, you know, your online profile or any of those things, I'd love to chat. I do free consults. They're 45 minutes and it's a Breakthrough to Love session. So I will put the link in the comments. And I enjoy you. I'm mincing my words. I encourage you to be as unique and as fully expressed as possible in this next week and just see how that shifts your experience and relationship in dating and with the people that you just meet, even at the grocery store. So lots of love, and I will see you soon. Bye.